Hey friends, you are now chilling in the friend zone with yours truly, Markula, and my co-hosts,
Aaron and Kenobi.
And today we have a very special guest host,
Yasmin.
Your love's like ecstasy. I'm overdosing. Your love's like ecstasy. I'm overdosing.
Thank you guys for joining us today on this epic adventure into the world of exes. Today we're going to talk about exes, but also not ex-exes, and the terminology that surrounds that whole thing. But of course, before we get into that, it's always fun to start off with a segment. So since we have our guest host today, you can do the honors of spinning our segment wheel to see what we gonna choose.
Okay, just click.
Yep. Oh my gosh, no!
What is it? That's because you won't play
It's
this every
10-second love pool!
Yeah, we do that one again.
Everybody's
Can we do it one more time?
favorite.
I feel like that's a mulligan. Alright, that's a fire.
Everybody's favorite. All right. So yes, you can tell us, first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself while I get this timer going, because they haven't met you yet, so they would love to know who you are and what you about. Give them your Tinder profile rundown.
More like Black
Tinder.
app.
Okay, yes, but
Tinder.
But my name is Yasmin. I'm a Gemini. Don't be scared.
oh no.
I'm a photographer, creative of all traits. You know, get at me.
All right. Thank you, Yasmin. We have 10 seconds. So this is a love poem that we're going to have to write in 10 seconds. Whatever you come up with in those 10 seconds, that's your poem. Y'all don't be cheating and coming up with stuff while I'm talking. You got to wait for your 10 seconds. Off the dome. All right, go.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
That was so fast. All right. I'm going to go first while it's fresh on my mind, because I didn't get a chance to write it down. What is love? I don't know. That's it.
For sure. I guess I'll go. Alright, I'm not a rapper. Rub-a-dub-dub.
No.
Come get in my club. Oh, wait.
You did this one already.
What? It's remix. Rub-a-dub-dub. Come get in my tub. Remix. Clean up.
Oh,
I want that Gushy. That gushy.
I'm scared.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All lives matter. Like, what?
Kenobi, you can go ahead and go next.
Bright lights. Don't feed me at night. I'm a gremlin. That's it.
Deep.
I like that. I like that. The gremlins and sunrise or something. What happens at night? 2 o'clock in the morning? No good.
Roses are red, violets are blue. If you give me you, I give me you.
That's beautiful. Okay.
I don't know if it makes
Some
sense,
love.
but I tried.
I love it.
I need more than 10 seconds.
I know, 10 seconds is not short, but we always pull it off. Speaking of pull off, wait, never mind. We're gonna get into our episode today, which is my not exes. I've had probably 3 official boyfriends in my life, like the people who they said, hey, will you be my girlfriend? And I said, yes, I'll be your girlfriend. And then we official, we dated, we locked in. But outside of those 3 boyfriends, I've been in other situationships with people that have spanned anywhere from a year to 5 years. And it's always interesting, like referring to them to other people and trying to figure out what term to use because ex isn't really the right word.
Yeah.
So I would love to know, like, from you guys' perspective, what do y'all call them? Like, do you just, for simplicity's sake, say ex, or are there other terms that you use?
I mean, if we dated and there's no more us, then yes, you are my ex-girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? I guess you're just my ex. I guess that's really nothing more to it other than that, right?
Well, but if they were never your girlfriend, y'all just kind of like messed around or had a romantic friendship.
Name in the chapter book.
Yeah, let's call her by her name. I had one girl that I used to call Dingus, but then she fucked up, and then now I call every girl that I think you can call her Dingus. So it's like, you know, maybe Dingus, you know what I mean? I just like throw it on everything.
So at first it was like a term of endearment, like, oh, my
It still
dingus,
is.
and then now
It still
it's
is,
like,
but you know,
dingus.
it's still a term of endearment, but I just use for everybody now.
So you're taking the power away from it.
Yeah, exactly. It's not her term of endearment.
I got that.
You know what I mean? It's like, damn, called that other bitch a dingus. It's wild.
Do y'all have little like pet names and stuff like that for people that you dated or talked to or been in a relationship?
I mean, yeah, probably involved in the relationship might have something cute to say, but afterwards, nah. You know, your first name or something else.
Yeah, like once you downgrade from the relationship, you like lose the special. You don't get to have that.
You lose a lot of privileges.
You know,
You
lose a lot. You gotta level up to get nicknames, and then you get knocked down, so you get the nickname.
Is Big Head a nickname? Some people use that shit for me.
That's such a generic.
That's a flirt.
That's a flirt.
I'm flirting.
Yeah.
It depends where I'm trying to go with it. You know, hey, big head. You know, I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna get back for that message. You know.
Right. I've been named Tris in somebody's phone.
Wait.
Yeah, TRIS, the reason I smile.
Wow.
Oh wow.
I'm like Tristan. I don't know.
I would've been like,
kind of
make sense, bro.
Yeah,
That shit was so
exactly.
positive. Everybody just paused. Like,
Right. I was really trying to connect the dots.
So Trish, I was like, that's not. I didn't think that's your name. I was like, you
Why?
accepted this.
Disrespect.
And she was like, the reason why you made me smile. I was like,
The
woo, that's
the reason I
the reason I smile.
or Bay, of course.
It's what you
Before
think.
all else is an acronym.
Bay.
Bay means before all else.
Okay. I guess. That's just too generic.
I thought it was just Bay, but
Oh, yeah.
I like to
No,
make
Bay,
cute
like-
nicknames. You know what I mean?
You say you like to make cute nicknames. Like what? What are some cute nicknames you like?
I mean, I can't. They're specific to the person. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay, they won't see this.
Hey, see.
Adam. I mean, the person who named me Tris in their phone, there's only one. So if you ever saw this, you'll know who he is.
so like,
Comment,
last
like,
person I
subscribe. I
called-
want to know what you're talking about.
I used to call them Ham Ham because their last name was. I don't plug information, but their last name was something like that. So that was cute.
Yeah.
Ham Ham.
I don't really give nicknames, like cutesy nicknames, but then after we stop talking, I might give them a nickname in my phone. Like I have this one guy who is an asshole, and his name in my phone is Decepticon. So
How do you
he
spell
always
that?
like,
How do you spell that? First of all, that's Tommy.
yes, he's a transformer. And like at first I just blocked them all together, but then I was like, you know what? I'm not going to give anybody the satisfaction of knowing they're blocked. So
Keeping your enemies
I
closer.
unblocked them and I renamed it so whenever the name pops up, I know that it's him, but I'm not answering that. And as a reminder to myself also that like this person is not
Just
somebody
put spam.
worthy of having my time. So
Spam, unknown caller. Those also work.
no, because it's also like a little bit of an ego boost seeing somebody who you're not gonna talk to calling your phone, and you have the privilege of ignoring the calls.
Power is in her hands. She got a lot of cards.
And then somebody else is named him in my phone.
Wait, him like.
But see, those are nicknames that they don't know.
Yeah,
That's their nickname.
Yeah, they don't.
And that's what I'm used to. Like, we just giving out nicknames when you meet somebody, and it's like what you remember them as. Like, beard. Like, oh, yeah, that's my That's Beard. Nickname Beard. Your homegirls know them as Beard. Like, he don't have no real name. His name is Beard. Like, that's the nickname. He don't know. His name is Beard.
This other dude who was he got very disrespectful, and I never like had any situation with him. I just knew him kind of through. Well, I met him at church actually, but we know each other through Instagram.
Worst
But
kind of niggas.
I mean, so his name in my his name in my phone. I'll bleep out that part because he'll know who he is. But his name is fucking in my phone. Don't say the name because you cut all that part out.
You can't say fucking
Damn, hey,
talk about the nigga name.
like, subscribe, comment, all of that.
Well, his real name
Approach is
isn't even
showed
that. Though. It doesn't matter. Okay, so for these cute little
Wow.
nicknames that you're giving these people, do you ever feel the need after you stop talking to them to change their names in your phone? We kind of had talked about this before, but
Yeah, it changed
So,
back to
like,
like
you
full government name. And it's better now because I know they full government because I've been with them. So I put the nickname, I put their fucking middle name in that motherfucker, you know, the second.
and for me, that's how I
full
know
government.
that I like somebody because I named them their full name in my phone. Like,
Mm,
if I
which
have
is-
your first and last name in my phone, then you're
You're
special.
You are a business associate.
That's the
You are,
Dead
you are
to
a business
me.
associate.
Wow.
I will shake your hands.
I guess because names are like so important to me. I grew up with a name that felt unique, and
Yeah.
everybody always like wants to give me a nickname or change my name or like be like, oh, what they call you. And so going by what your actual name is like special to me. And so if I have your whole name, then that means you're special.
It's valid.
But that's just me though.
That's valid, I guess.
Sometimes it could be a bad thing when somebody's being called by their real name. Instead of being babe, called by their first name. Like, dang, you don't love me no more? Like, what happened to babe? Like, you
Well,
don't
you
even
call
know
me-
my government?
I have some
Like,
shit
don't be in
before.
trouble?
First name, last name, like, damn.
Like, it's serious.
Okay, so we established what they get called before and after, but I just like with other people too, I'm still trying to pin down what we can give the title to these people who don't deserve the title of ex.
You just said they don't
I
deserve.
mean,
So
It's like, what do you say then?
it's
Like,
either friend or associate.
You're an associate. Yeah.
Because if I was with you, we should have had some type of grounds of friendship. And if we didn't, like, I'm probably not still connected to you in no type of way, shape, or form. I don't really double back, so it's like,
do you correct people? Like if they're like, oh, where's your ex so-and-so? And like, that's not my ex because we wouldn't.
after a
together.
while, depending on the circumstance, like I consider somebody as my best friend after being in a relationship with them because I felt like the dynamic of the relationship was just us being best friends.
Mhm.
So when my friends and family was just like, oh, why y'all not together? Like after a certain while, it was just like, no, like we're literally just friends. Like we had a whole conversation about it. So when you try to put all this extra shit, it makes it complicated because you're doing too much. Like,
And that's a whole nother thing too. Staying friends with them after the relationship is over.
What? You mean like being friends with your ex?
Yes. So if you're friends with your
I have
ex,
that problem.
first of all, how if you
I'm
get
not
into a
friends
new
with my ex.
relationship, do you tell your new boo like, oh, this is my friend, but we used to. And it doesn't even have to be like an ex-girlfriend. It could be somebody who you used to like have sex with and y'all not no more because now you're exclusive with this new person. Do you tell that new person, especially if they're gonna be around, that, oh, I used to fuck?
yes.
Yeah, you're gonna have to because if something happens down the line, you don't say anything. That's just a whole other situation.
They find out.
That's a
about
fireable like offense. So you kind of have to say something.
Have y'all had to do that before?
Yeah.
And
So
what was your partner like fine with it, or were they jealous and it caused situations?
It's like half and half. Half the
Yeah.
time they're gone, half the time they want to still do something. So they make decisions for themselves.
I have more of an issue with calling somebody I was with my best friend,
Mhm.
opposed to just being still
We was
cool with
together
the
for
person.
2 years.
For somebody to hear that I'm calling somebody my best friend after like we've been together, it made them feel like, well, what does that mean for me if you call another man your best friend and y'all used to be together?
Right.
I guess that puts them in a place of insecurity
Right.
or unsure.
So then how do you assuage their insecurity?
I mean, I feel like for me, I feel like it's all understanding You know, like there's first time things that you might want to keep safe for like maybe your husband or your wife or whatever the case may be. Like you can have a whole bunch of sexual relationships and then never get paid and be like, I just want to give that to my husband one day. And then if that man if you ever get a husband, you can share that, like literally I've been saving this for you. Like, you know, he would never know that. But people have the option to choose, pick and choose, you know. So I kind of just look at it like that. Like,
Do y'all have those things that you like say? Because everybody here has said that they want marriage. Do you want marriage one day?
I have a 14 or about to be 15-year-old. I feel like my situation is different.
If in the ideal world, would you want to be married?
My ideal world was that when I got pregnant and was a single parent. But after a child becomes a certain age, it kind of seems like that's out the window, so it's no longer my focus.
Yeah.
I feel like for me and my caliber, it takes me out of the category of a man to pursue because I already have a child. Like, opposed to a woman who doesn't have children, he will look at her more so like, oh, she's fresh.
Yeah, I feel where you're coming from, but I heard from a lot of men that children, like, that's not a deal breaker for them, so don't close yourself off.
Oh no, it's a 50-50. Like,
yeah.
Overall, it always depends because there's men who might feel like they can't have children for themselves. So they also have compromises that they tell themselves. So if they find a woman who has kids and all that, like to them that's a package deal because of whatever situation it came from. Right. So it just depends. But majority of men who may want a child from their seed, that's a lot of compromise and understanding that comes from that, especially if women cannot be equipped.
Yeah. So I guess the question was, like, are there things that you save, I guess, for you guys, for your wife and for you, like, for a husband or for somebody who you would be seriously involved with?
I feel like for me, like, kissing is one of those things that I just don't go out and do that often.
Kissing, that's what you're saving?
I mean, no, I don't know if it's a saving thing, but it's something that I don't really like to do like that.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Maybe because I have like sensitive skin, germs.
Yeah.
But I don't like it like that. So I kind of feel like there's like certain things that I don't just go out and just willingly give out that I feel like from my partner or my husband one day if that ever became a thing. Yeah. That's something that I feel like they should appreciate because it's something I just don't willingly just give out like that. Like like little pretty women or some shit. Like, you know, she out here doing her thing, but nigga, you can't kiss me. No. So I kind of look at it like that way. Like whatever my reason is, even if it's germaphobe or whatever the case may be, you know, been placed back because of bad kisses, whatever the case is, I just feel like if I'm into somebody and that's my person, like I know that my lips are majority for that person because I wasn't out, like kissing wasn't my thing. I was just out here like willingly kissing on people or putting my lips on dicks or nothing like that. Like my shit is really sacred. My throat is sacred, so you should appreciate it.
The throat is sacred.
The throat is sacred. So I appreciate it. My best. Like, you know. Like, think about that moving forward.
What about for y'all? Do guys do that? Do they save themselves in certain aspects for their future women who might not want to
Yes.
I don't believe it at all.
I am a only gonna get her ass if she my girlfriend. Or if we like married. Yeah.
So we talked about this whole ass eating thing on a previous episode.
Like consistently. You might get it every once in a while.
It comes up, right?
And if you're cute and you just watched it, maybe. It depends how.
Do you have to watch her watch it? Like, how thorough is this?
I trust most women that I deal with to be hygienic. You know what I mean? You should wash your ass. If we have like the type of conversations that I have with people.
Yeah. Would you trust a woman if she says she doesn't take baths opposed to showers?
Because there are studies out there that say that you
like
don't have to shower every day. Like they say that you're only supposed to shower every 1 to 3 days. And there are like studies that they've done.
Black girl I know shower every day, bath every day, bathe every day. I don't get that. That's what I was like.
So nothing you saving.
Yeah.
So nothing you saving. For a wife, like you eat ass, and so that's not nothing you saving no more. But that you said you save it specifically for girlfriends. But is there anything that you save just for your wife? Like only wife gets this.
Life insurance policy.
Right. Share a bank account. Sharing the funds.
Yeah, those are valid also.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess so.
Joint account.
Yeah, like that's like I don't do that for nobody else. Like you only want to go my savings account information. Like
Mhm.
And I mean, finances, that's like a big thing in a relationship. Like, how do you get comfortable enough to share, or when do you get comfortable enough to share, like, your financial situation with your significant other?
I think once you start having kids together, like, you know what I'm saying? At that, I mean, me personally, I don't know. Once I feel like once you have that situation, I feel like you guys gotta make it work. You know, times are different, things are different, people
type shit.
Yeah, people see their data, something a little different. I can only talk about myself.
You know, I've seen plenty of that situation
Where somebody has a bad spending
or they
habit
just
or bad credit.
they go ahead and just invest in it, but you didn't talk to me. Yeah, I just felt like it's my money, it's
That's
our
poor
money.
communication.
Like,
See, that's why, and I don't remember who
scary.
it was, but there's somebody, I feel like it was a Steve Harvey type of person
Right.
that was saying the type of bank accounts that you gotta have. You need your personal account.
Yeah, you need that.
You need a joint account. You need an account this is me, I don't remember all the ones that he said. You need an account just for your kids. You need an account that you're paying your bills from together, and then you need like a travel fund.
Niggas split
So that's
bills
5
like 10
accounts.
fucking ways and shit. Right. And niggas try to pay rent and then split they shit 10 ways for the fucking. Nah, niggas they can't do that shit.
Right. If you just like put it all in like this is our bills account, then you don't have to worry about, oh, why are you buying this thing? Because I bought it out of my personal account and not our joint account.
Yeah, I wanted it.
What you got in your personal account? Why don't you buy what you want?
We own these exes. Do you guys have any habits that you picked up from your exes that you still have like carried into your life after you've been with these exes or been done with these exes?
I ain't got no habits, but I like girls who like good ass music, so I'm always gonna steal your artist. You know, yeah. I'm always gonna be like, bam, yo. And the next girl's definitely gonna be like, hey girl, check this new
You
song
putting
out.
the
Check
next
this song
girl
out.
onto his.
You take my sweaters, I take your music.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yes, no, I'm saying your music. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I'm gonna put the next
That's fair.
song.
I'll take that. That's fair.
Like, yo, have you heard this girl? You're like, nah, who is this? Like, oh, and we won't fuck.
Yeah.
Wow, do you ever think of the other girl that put you onto that song if you having sex to the song that she put you on?
Nope.
Now I'm having sex.
Nope.
Now I'm fucking.
like,
Yeah,
no, like sometimes when it come on.
song plays, like, oh, this
Because I
had
have
the song to you, and every time that song plays, I'm like,
You know, there might be a thought, if you're driving in the car, be like, dang.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't keep it pushing.
Sandy, like, whatever. She had the fattest ass.
I feel like every time we've been in a relationship or a situation, there's been a classic album that has come out during that time. And so whenever I hear that music, it like reminds me of that moment in time with that person, or just that moment in time. Because like the Rated R album and the Chris Brown's album that came out around the same time. I forget what it's called, maybe Graffiti. Anyway, but those two remind me of my time in Paris and the person that I was dating while I was in that time.
Big Sean had this one song, I Don't Fuck With You. Oh man, that song was on rotation. That song was on rotation like 5-6 times on this. Oh my god.
You can always tell when somebody has somebody specific in mind when that song
come on.
so
I be getting hype.
Right.
Niggas
I see that shit
out of nowhere.
Ain't no bass in that voice. Like ain't no bass in that song whatsoever before.
You go add the bass. So one of the habits that I take from a previous ex is, and this is like kind of dumb, but anyway, he always puts syrup on every pancake. Like, you know how most people put the syrup just on the top of the pancake, but he goes through and puts it on every pancake. And so that's something that I never did before, but after talking to him, I do it. And I don't always do it, but whenever I do it, I remember, oh, I know where I got this habit from.
So you actually have people out there who actually just pour syrup on the top.
I just pour it on the top, yeah.
She also pours her milk in before the cereal.
I mean, I do that. It's so much more efficient.
The cameraman leaving. I want y'all to see it. But off camera, the cameraman is walking out He's pieced out.
It is so
Angry.
much more efficient to pour the milk first because
He really
then
does.
you know the
That's wild.
exact.
That's wild.
He just walked in the store.
It's wild. He's gone. That is the wildest thing
I'm just
I've
saying,
ever
just for
seen in my
efficiency's
life.
sake, yo. Like,
For-
come on.
No, it's whole bowl of
Because the
cereal
shit
comes all
sits
the way
on
up.
top.
You fill it up, then you pour the milk.
I guess-
Do you have to push it down? Push the cereal down?
Yeah, okay, so, and I'm
That's
gonna make a
inefficient.
TikTok for this. You pour the milk in there, and then you pour your first cereal, and then you pour your second cereal, and then you pour your third cereal, and then you put your
Wait, hold on,
cereal.
wait. You put multiple cereals.
That's too much and not enough.
Who just eat one cereal?
Nigga out here making combo cereal?
Right. She said,
And then you gotta put your nuts on top, and then maybe
God,
sometimes
that's
a
so much
strawberry.
Oh, so you one of those
That's a
like
lot.
this is like a part of a complete breakfast 1999 type.
I didn't like breakfast.
Still
And
got
then you
some-
get
She
your
put a lot of weight on that
Wow.
motherfucker.
Yeah,
That's
you got nuts, banana.
maybe some chia seeds.
What's that place where you put all the toppings on your fucking yogurt?
Like 21 flavors.
Yeah.
Or something
What the
like
fuck
that,
is
61
that?
flavors, something. I don't know. But then you get your spoon at the end and you go chop, 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 and then you eat your cereal.
She said, cha cha cha.
Do you adjust the milk? What if it's not enough milk?
That's the beauty of pouring the milk first is because you can
Well,
calibrate the amount of cereal to the amount of milk versus trying to guesstimate how much milk you need by the cereal because you can't see it.
But
No,
that's
you can see the milk.
no, yeah. The cereal's the important part. You're eating the cereal.
Yeah,
so you don't
it's when you
care
pour
about
like
the
can you
amount of
imagine like
cereal.
you pour like the
Oh,
yeah,
No. Just try it, y'all. Just try
this
it.
man's having a nervous breakdown right now. You see this?
Just try it. I'm telling you.
The only time I look your way is when I've already finished the milk that is already there, and then
Oh, you finish the
pour-
cereal, you
Yeah,
got
no,
extra
no,
milk. It's only a backup. That's a backup thing. Like, I want
No.
an extra bowl of cereal. I got like a little bit of milk, so let's pour this in there and then top the milk off a little more. And we're eating.
All right,
the
enough
cereal.
about cereal.
All right.
Yes, do you have any habits that you've taken
I
from
was
the
trying to
previous situation?
think. It was only one thing that popped in my mind.
friend zone, her milk pouring.
She got some takes, bro. She got some takes,
Damn,
bro.
jeez.
Different.
I'll accept different. That's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
There was only one thing I feel like that I ever did was through text, where after talking to somebody for a certain amount of time, you kind of develop the way that they're texting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was
Like you take on
a
their
long
lexicon
time ago.
and-
So,
Yeah,
so
like
they-
replacing letters with certain other letters and whatever. It's just like I know this is because I'm seeing it regularly with somebody else texting me, so I started doing it.
Mm.
But it was just like a natural thing. It's like I'm not trying to purposely do it, but it just felt like I just naturally fell
Yeah.
into it. That was like a long time ago, but I don't have nothing recently.
Mm.
Yeah.
I definitely do that too. I'll pick up certain words that they use, and it's now part of my vernacular.
Right.
Like, yeah.
I think one thing too though is like one thing I noticed, like I like sweets and candies, so I can tell when a person is picking up my habit.
Mm.
Like you
And they
wasn't
get your
even
sweet
fucking
too?
thinking about this shit. And I will tell you like all the
Oh,
sweets
man.
that I like.
Well, yeah. What about that? Have y'all picked up or has the person that you've been talking to picked up habits from you? So yours are sweets,
Right.
Yeah, no, I put a lot of people onto like fruit snacks and shit. I love
Fruit snacks?
I fuck.
Is that something
no,
that everybody don't eat?
unless they start fucking with me, then they start eating fruit snacks. Next thing I know, it'll be a house full of fruit snacks. I'm like, yo, what the fuck these fruit
Fruit
snacks
snacks are
coming in? They be like,
bomb.
yo.
I know that's what I'm saying. Like there are people who don't eat fruit snacks.
Yeah, they flavorful. Like
I got the multi box.
right.
Yo, the most
Like,
man, look, I was
I'm
dropped some
actually-
bread in that shit. No, but personally, no, like I don't think I've ever. I mean, I can't really say if I developed any like random habits from like any exes or anybody that I used to deal with. Nah, I can't.
Have you had anybody that picked up some of your habits?
There's this girl who like wasn't trying to go to no shit, like no conventions or nothing, and then she started doing my shit. There was another girl I was thinking about doing one lock. I was thinking about doing one lock in the back before I started doing my whole shit, and I wanted to get eyebrow slits, and she was like, "That's stupid." And then like 2 years later, I see on Instagram she had fucking eyebrow slits, and she had 2 fucking fake ass dreads coming down, and I was like, "Nigga, what?"
Yeah.
The trend of certain things. That's what I get too when because you say eyebrow slit, I have an eyebrow slit, but I have a natural cut on my eyebrow.
That's the cool shit. I wanted.
So the people would
and I didn't
assume
get
that I'm doing it on purpose. Like, no,
Mad as hell.
legitly, it's a legit scar on my eyebrow. I just decided not to cover it up anymore. Opposed to people just doing it for a trend.
Yeah, that shit is, I like the slit. I like the way it look. Should look badass. Make it look like you cocking it. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's what I'm going for.
Exactly.
Watch out.
Love it.
The only thing I can think of that somebody has adapted from me maybe is like, well, I guess while we're dating, my eating habits, because I'm a vegetarian or pescatarian rather, and I also cook and I don't go out a whole bunch, and so if you're eating at my house, like if I'm cooking, then you're not gonna be eating meat. So you're becoming kind of a vegetarian with me.
See, I've always said like if I had a girl who like was more the healthy side or cooked and actually did the shit, because I know how to cook, so like I'll do meat. But if somebody was just like, nah, you ain't gonna eat that, red meat because I want a steak, and she gonna do some cauliflower that tastes like steak. You know what I'm saying? Then I would most definitely be like, I'm gonna eat what you eat. But as soon as you leave,
I'm gonna eat some real steak.
I'm going right back to it,
Like, I'm a pescatarian, but I don't waste food. And if it's there,
I'm eating it.
I'm gonna eat it.
That's for sure.
That's what I say. If it's there.
Bing bong. So last thing about the exes is bad situations. Like, have y'all had a situation escalate to the point where you had to call the cops on them, you had to go to court with them, y'all was fighting?
Yup.
Yikes.
What happened? Right, yikes. What happened?
Damn. I can let it out now. So I had this moment 10 plus years ago. And I broke up with this chick. And like she didn't take it right. Or obviously, it's a breakup situation, so no one's gonna take it right. I just didn't think it was going to escalate to the way that I thought it was. You know what I'm saying? Because it was just like, it was really 0 to 100. I mean, I understand like she was emotional, shit happens. But like, I legitimately like walked away. And I'm really glad, because to this day, if I didn't have any witnesses, I probably got fucked up.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like I had 2 girl witnesses and I had a guy witness. So like everything was on my favor, because it was like, okay, you walked away from the situation, he was pursued. I got fucked up. That's the crazy part. Like I had like this fresh, clean pro club. That shit was all bloodied up, like face guard and everything. And then the very next week, they were saying like I got arrested. And I'm like, what the fuck? It was a whole situation. It was a whole thing, whatever. Wow. And then when I come to find out, it was like a whole situation. Got arrested. And then I'm thinking like, shit's about to be all bad. Like, man, like shit, how am I gonna get out of this? I don't know how I'm gonna get out of this. But luckily, like, my witnesses were there. They spoke up for me. The judge, basically, everything sided in my favor. So I got.
You have those 2 witnesses.
I got very lucky. Yeah, I got very lucky. Like everything worked out on my favor, and especially like, the only people who spoke were the women. Like the guy never spoke. And once everything worked, then that was pretty much about it. But the cold part was, this girl had an issue because nothing fucking happened. Like I know personally, like I didn't do anything wrong. Like she kicked me between my legs. That shit hurt, and that shit really hurt.
Sure.
So you got me good. And other than that, the only thing I did was raise my voice. But the only time I raised my voice is because I was like, yo, you only want to hear what you want to hear, right? So at this point, like I'm kind of over it. So I did yell, and then she kicked me and said, don't you yell at me. So when that happened. But when I won the court case and everything was said and done, her mom comes to me. She's like, the only reason why we did this was to teach you a lesson. I said, bitch, what? I wanted to countersue so bad they didn't let me do it.
Teach you a lesson?
I didn't even understand. I was trying to figure out what the fuck she was talking about.
What lesson was being taught?
And I started thinking, I was like, yo, like, what is your daughter not saying about all this shit? Because the only reason why this has all happened is because I broke up with your daughter. You know what I'm saying? But your daughter knows exactly why I broke up with her. So is she not explaining this to you guys? But then I also realized it's like only so much of the story is going to be told.
Yeah.
So I let it go. But yeah, I've been in a situation like that with a couple, like with an ex, and I was just like, yeah. But after that, then I really started like really looking at like how people move, and like that's learning from that experience. Like certain moves and certain things that people do, I most definitely start watching a little bit more, and then I start being like a little bit more standoffish, but I'm still involved. But I'm really trying to figure out like who they are as an individual, because like I didn't think it was just me. When I find out that it was just me who just went through this, but it was like all our other ex-boyfriends was going through this shit too.
Oh wow. Yeah.
I was like, oh. I thought it was just me, man.
Yeah.
Psycho killer.
I've had two situations of turmoil, I guess. One was a while back too. They like ran out on the rent, and so I wanted to take them to small claims court to get the rent, but it never happened because of the legalities of out of state, in state stuff. But I still want my money.
Right.
But
Bitch better have my money.
Hey.
no. And then there's another situation where they kind of like had a temper and they were like slamming on my door real hard, and so I didn't call the cops, and I probably wouldn't just because of the whole, you know, police and black men thing. But I did say, I asked them the question like, do I need to call the cops or are you gonna calm down? Like, but other than that,
You got clothes.
yeah.
He opened up some band.
I ain't never had no shit like that. I've bailed an ex out before, but
You bailed an ex out? I've actually done that too.
yeah.
They weren't my ex, but they asked for the money to get bailed out. I made them pay me back. Did you get your money back?
Well, they were my girlfriend at the time.
Okay. I mean, okay. Yeah.
Babe, I need you to get me out of jail. Like, what the fuck?
Right. Like, why are you in jail?
Why?
She was just protesting and she was on probation.
Okay, well that I will pay for.
No, she was protesting and she's on probation. She should have been out there. That's the first thing I said to her.
I was
She
like, no, I
gone.
was going to the
Like,
store and all these
"Hey,
niggas
she
came
was
in the fucking Kmart.
Right.
What's my fucking
I'll pay for a protest bill, but if you just out doing stupid stuff,
Outside trying to buy a TV set and everybody else showed up at the same time.
outside trying to buy a TV set, that's your first mistake.
I thought it was a bazaar.
But no, it's serious.
Everybody was doing it, you know. I'm a wallet out.
I'm a wallet out, nigga. Hey, next time I steal something, bro. Well, my card's right here.
I've been trying to pay for it the whole time.
Nobody came up to me. That's how white people do.
Plausible deniability. Yes, what about you? Have you ever been in a situation that maybe went too far?
I kind of just feel like calling the police ain't really helping nobody.
So how do you handle it then?
I don't know yet. You know, like you try to deal with situations the best way you can. But anytime I've been in any situation, whether it's a car crash or whatever, police has never helped me.
There was something Aaron said about breaking up with the chick, and I just want to know, like, is there a right way or a way to break up with people without, like, getting them in their feelings, or
It's
like
going to happen. It's going to happen.
a healthy way to break up?
It's healthy? No, it's all toxic. No, you just let them know. No, just, I mean, honestly, like, if it's not there, I mean, you can have a conversation, just be like, hey, it is what it is. It's going to hurt because ultimately you're taking away that person's ability to make a phone call. Like, oh my God, something crazy just happened. You know, you got to, like, replace that for a little bit, you know, and it's going to suck. No, it's whatever. Just, you know, you got to just let them know. It's like, yo, like, this is it. This is it. I've done that, I won't say too many times, but the times that I have, it's just, I had to make it for myself, and I felt better doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, very next day, I was just like, oh my gosh, it's bright outside. I felt great. You know, I can breathe.
I remember this one, like, really jacked up way that, so I was dating this guy,
Jacked up.
and so he cheated. That's the first thing, and so of course I'm gonna break up with him because he's a deal breaker for me. And I decided, I decided that I knew that he was the type of person that would like be able to suck me back in if I allowed him to. So no, I actually have never had sex with him. But anyway, and so
Very emotional person.
no, he just was a good talker. Anyway, so I texted the breakup. I was like, sorry, I can't do this no more. And then I didn't answer no phone calls. And he would like go to my best friend's house and have them call from their phones. And like, it was a whole thing. But I just think sometimes you need to just cut it off. And if you don't want the relationship anymore, there's no need to have a conversation. So maybe breaking up over text is kind of jacked up, but if you know that you need to do it for you to protect your own sanity, it's sometimes necessary.
Yeah, I'm never.
You know?
You break me up over text, and I'm making a phone call. Like, yo, I want to hear it.
But I'm ignoring the call. I'm not gonna answer
Yeah.
it because I know that if I talk to you, I'm gonna let you talk me back into it.
Nah, I mean, okay, I mean, I get that,
Yeah,
but
you're a talker.
Well, it's also young, like yeah.
Have you ever guys had an ex that turned into a stalker? Or somebody you dated turned
Ex
into
turned into a
a
stalker?
low-key,
Shit.
like stalker, somebody who constantly hits you up and won't never leave you alone?
I've had stalkers, but not exes that were stalkers.
I mean, I've experienced
They have
it.
whole
It's weird.
movies about men.
I've never
That's a
been
movie,
stalked, so
though.
I've never had the pleasure of being stalked. I've never known that feeling.
It's a movie
Never had
directed
the
by a
pleasure.
man.
Never had the pleasure of being
Written
stalked
by a
or
man.
overly
What if a
wanted.
woman stalked me?
Obsessed.
Shit.
You're
I've never had somebody.
But they're blowing your phone up constantly.
Yeah, 20 missed calls. Nah, ain't nobody looking.
Oh no,
Yeah,
I've definitely
nobody-
not from an
nobody-
ex for 85 missed
Kinda
calls and 27 3-minute
Right.
voice messages. Like,
Sounds like
what?
a whole bunch of
27,
people.
I've left 2-3 minutes to explain to myself, but then I'd be like, ah, damn, I did a bunch. Like, they don't hit me too. I'd be like,
First thing I started
ah.
thinking about, I used to do that shit in high school, man, calling messengers and shit, but then I started thinking about, and it's only because I seen some of my homegirls do this, voice messages, pictures, those things are shared.
Oh,
amongst
yeah.
the group.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
stopped, all that stuff, messages, when shit gets real serious, I have to have a conversation with you, because if it's on a text message or a voice message, it could be shared, and it could be thrown any which way if that context is information. So it's
Yeah.
I started being a little bit more cautious about it. So
Yeah.
now I want to talk to you. We gotta have a conversation. If I'm done, I'm done. I can take the L. I've taken tons of L's. I've been rejected. Rejection is what I was born in.
It never escalated into any physical harm or anything. It was just why are you still doing this after so many years? It just doesn't make no sense.
Yeah.
Because this person at the same time faked their death with me.
Excuse me?
Yeah, so it was just why me? Why are you doing
That's a
this
narcissist,
shit?
right?
Yeah.
Wow.
You had family members contact me and tell me you were dead.
Wow. But
And
then
then you
that also
showed
makes
up.
the question the family members too, because they
Right,
participated
they're all
in
weird.
that.
And then you show up at my house
They all.
a couple years later after I'm in a new relationship, and I'm over here opening the door
Nigga, that's
Wow.
I just want to close the door right now because I think I'm in a dream. Why are you here? I thought you was dead.
Did
What's
you
going on?
grieve him? Did you grieve him?
No, I didn't believe him. I honestly didn't believe the shit, honestly.
Oh my
Just the way that
gosh.
people was delivering the news about him being not here. They're yeah, he left you a bunch of stuff in the will. It felt like a game. It felt weird. So the whole process of the last 6 years of my life, I low-key really do
That
have a
is
stalker.
hella weird. Oh my god.
Don't understand why. Don't get it. But it happens for some reason. And I only feel like it happens because people want attention.
Yeah.
So.
Whew.
niggas.
All right, y'all. We're gonna end out today. Y'all exes out there, more power to you. Love, peace, and light. I wish your life well. But we're gonna end out with a segment today, and that segment is spinning
Except for
the
one of
wheel.
y'all. One of y'all, y'all cool. I can apologize. Only one I can apologize. The other ones, I'm good.
All right, this is finish the sentence. Everybody pull out your phone, and we're gonna see how your mind works, or how your phone mind works anyway. So we have some.
Not the text message thing.
We have some starter lines, and you have to start typing that into your phone and see what it auto finishes the sentence as. All right, so this one is my mind goes. After you say my mind goes, just pick the middle words until you have a sentence. All right, what yours
It
say?
just says my mind go off the LOL.
Your mind go off the LOL. Okay.
So mine says my mind goes off on my phone and my head hurts so much more than my life. Laugh out loud.
Your life laughs
Yours
out
is
loud.
deep.
I don't know how I'm going to share because
Oh, what is yours
this
say?
is deep. My mind goes, where's the boobs? I want a snack.
Yo, your
Where's
mind
the
and my
boobs
mind.
instead of
How often are your First of all,
Yo.
that's like pre-selected text. So like, how often are those words coming up in your phone?
I really be wanting
They look good.
My Instagram is I am exposure.
So mine says,
Boobs.
my mind goes to the show is a good time. And with that, I had a great time with you guys. We will see you next time.
Hey.
Peace.
Peace out.
Oh,
Great job.
stardom is hard.
Friend zone.
Bodies on the floor, bodies on the floor.